Today in the Origami Dojo, we're going to be making the man in the moon feel like $1,000,000. Or $1 anyway. Are you ready? Let's get folding. So while this model can be folded from one US dollar bill, I'm going to show you how to fold it using a larger rectangle with similar proportions. So to get that rectangle, I'm going to start with a sheet of printer paper, and it shouldn't matter if it's letter or A4. I'm going to start with the long side facing me, and I'm going to take it and fold it in half. And let's crease. Now we're going to unfold and cut the paper in half using this crease as the guideline. Now, I'm just going to use a letter opener, but you can use whichever method you prefer. I find that a letter opener, though, tends to give the neatest results. And so we end up with two rectangles of the same size. We're going to set the one aside because we don't need it. And then we're going to start using this rectangle. So once we have a rectangle, we're going to start by rotating it around so that the short side is facing us. Then we'll take the bottom edge and fold it up to the top edge. Line it up carefully and crease sharply. This is a crease we'll need later on. It's an important one. Let's unfold. And we're going to turn over so that that valley crease becomes a mountain crease. Then we're going to rotate around so that the long side is facing us. Then we'll take that bottom edge and fold it up to the top edge. And again, crease sharply. Then let's unfold, and we're going to take this bottom edge and fold it up to that crease we just made. Then let's rotate around, and we're going to take this new bottom edge and fold it up to that center crease, just like we did before. And once we have that, we're going to turn over yet again, and we're going to fold in half using this valley crease in the center. So we're basically folding in on an existing crease, and we'll just need to reinforce it on the layers here. So now let's take this edge here, and we're going to fold it down to the bottom crease, or the bottom edge there. And then we're going to crease, but only as far as this midline here. And once we have that, let's unfold. And then we're going to do the same thing on the left. We're going to take this edge and fold it down to that bottom crease there. And then crease only as far as that center crease. Then we're going to unfold, turn over, and do the same thing on this side. We'll take this right edge, fold it down to the bottom, and then crease, but only as far as that center line. Then unfold and do the same thing on the left. Fold that edge down to the center, crease sharply, and unfold. Now let's unfold that center crease there. Now we have this center square here. So now what we want to do is take this bottom edge here and fold it up to the bottom corner of that square, those creases there. And we're going to line that up on the center. Make sure it lines up, and crease. Now we're going to take this bottom edge and fold it up to this top edge here. But when we do that, we're not going to crease sharply. We're just going to hold it in place on the corner here, and then just pull out the flap underneath. And once that's out, now we're going to crease. Then we'll unfold, and we'll take this bottom edge here and fold it up to that next closest crease there. And then flatten. And now let's unfold, and we're going to rotate around and do the same thing on the side. We'll take that bottom edge and fold it up to the bottom corner of that square there. And then we're going to take this bottom edge and fold it up to the top edge of that flap there. But we're not going to crease sharply until we've pulled that flap out. And once we've done that, then we'll crease and then unfold. And we'll take this bottom edge and then fold it up to the next closest crease. And now we have two more creases to make. So to make that, we're going to take this bottom edge here and we're going to fold it up until it meets the second crease down on the side. We have one crease here and then one crease here. And we're going to take the bottom edge and fold it up to meet that second crease. And then we're going to crease as sharply as possible through all layers there. Then we'll unfold, rotate around, and do the same thing on this side. We're going to take this bottom edge and then count 1, 2 creases down and fold it up to meet that second crease down. You might want to put your finger in here to make sure that the paper doesn't crumple on you. And then flatten. And we'll unfold. So now we're going to mount and fold the paper in half, starting at one edge, or starting at the edges and going in toward the center, right up until we get to that center square. We're going to pinch up to that square and then just push it in half. Then we're just going to turn it so that one flap goes one way and then one goes the other. And we're going to make sure everything is nice and flat. And there we go. Now let's turn it over so that the open side is facing to the right. And then we're going to take this flap and we're going to fold that up. And then we're going to turn over and take this flap and take it and fold it so that this edge lines up with that crease just below it. So we're just going to take it and fold it down like this. Then we're going to turn over and this is the nose, and we're going to make the eye now. So to make the eye, we're just going to fold this flap down so that this edge lines up with itself. So we're just going to fold it down this is really just a taste. About this far looks good to me. And we're going to fold it so that we get that little triangle there. Then we're going to take this tip and fold it out to the furthest edge here. And then let's crease, then unfold. And now using that existing crease, we're just going to open up the paper here. And there are 3 layers here. We're going to open it up so that 2 layers are on this side and 1 layer is on this side. And then we'll just squash that paper down so that we get this nice little square here. And that's our moon's eye. So now we're going to give our moon a mouth. And to do that, we just need one more crease about at the halfway mark here. So to get that crease, we're just going to turn this fold here, this valley fold, into a mountain fold and just bring it up to that crease right here. And then let's flip this fold up and then just pinch on the existing crease. It might help if we used a hard surface there. And then we'll turn over. And what we want is a fold that goes from this point here over to this point here. To do that, we're just going to take this flap from behind here and then just take that edge and just fold it up. And about that far looks good to me, so we'll crease there. And it should look like this from the front end. All we did was add in a mountain fold and then a valley fold. And now, turning back over to this side, the side with the nose, we're going to take this corner here and we're just going to fold it down. And there's no exact guideline, but ideally it should line up with the edge on this side. It's kind of hard to see, but if you eyeball it there, you should be able to get it to line up fairly well. Then let's turn back to this side and we're going to unfold it and then just reverse fold it inside on that crease we just made. And if we turn over, that'll show you how well your fold turned out. If no paper is showing, that means you lined it up with that edge there. And so back on this side, we're just going to take this, we're going to make a fold that runs from this point here out to this crease here. So we're just going to fold that paper down. And then we're going to make a fold that runs from this little V intersection here out to the nose. We're just getting that paper out of the way there. And you're going to want to lift this flap up here a little bit and then just tuck that underneath. And with that out of the way, your man in the moon has a mouth. So now we're going to unfold that mouth, but just temporarily, in order to lock the ends of the model in place. So to do that, we're going to start here, and the nose should be facing to the right. And we're going to take this top edge and fold it down to the right edge here. and we're going to crease, then we're going to unfold, and we're going to open up the model here, and then we're going to take this flap and unfold it, just for now. And then we're going to take these creases and turn them into a reverse fold. So this fold's already a valley fold, but we just need to pinch this one into a valley fold. And then we're going to take this flap here and then just fold it behind so we get that corner there. And then we're going to close up this reverse fold like so. And then when we do that, we're just going to take this flap we made and push it inside. And we're going to do that. And let's just refold that nose there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom here, but in the opposite direction. So we're going to take this bottom edge and fold it up to that right edge. And then crease. Then let's unfold, and we're going to open up the model. And we're going to pull that flap out. And then we're going to turn this mountain fold into a valley fold and just squeeze the ends of the paper together there till that lines up. And then we're going to take that mountain fold here, this mountain fold here, and then bring it over to this crease here. Fold in that existing crease. Then we're going to fold this flap behind again, and then just tuck it inside on top of that reverse fold there. And now let's refold that mouth. So we'll just refold that pleat, turn over, make that reverse fold. It's a lot easier this time around. Fold that edge out, and then fold the other edge up, and then tuck it beneath that big layer there. And there we go. Now we're ready to finish up the moon. So the technique we're going to use next is called a crimp fold, and it's a little bit difficult if you've never done it before. So I'm going to show you how to do it on a small strip of paper first. So just grab a small strip of paper and fold it in half with the long side facing you. Then let's unfold, and we're going to turn over so that that crease becomes a mountain fold and the short side is now facing you. Then we're going to take the short side and fold it up to the other short side, folding that in half. Then let's unfold, and we're going to turn over again so that that first crease we made is now a valley fold again, and we're going to rotate it around. Then with the long side facing you, fold that long bottom edge up to the center crease, and do the same thing with the one on the other end. And now we're going to fold it in half. And so with the opened end facing right, what we want to do is fold this fold as a valley fold, so just fold that down. And then we're going to fold it up, but at a slight angle. So the idea is we're going to be doing the same thing with the moon. We're going to be folding this down and up at a slight angle. And the exact amount doesn't matter. It's just whatever looks good to you. Now, we're going to unfold this edge here, and we're going to take this mountain fold here and reinforce it as a mountain fold. And then we're going to take this other diagonal line here and also pinch that as a mountain fold. And then we're going to take this crease here and fold it and reinforce it as a valley fold. And now we're just going to fold it in half and then fold on the existing creases. So when we fold in half, we're going to fold these folds as valley folds, and this is a mountain fold. And if you squeeze the paper together and push, it should go that way naturally. And this is what you end up with. And basically you're going to be doing this on all the creases for the moon here, on these creases here, just in order to round it out. So let's get to work. So as I showed you earlier, we're just going to be taking this flap here and folding it down, and then folding it back up at a slight angle. Now, the exact amount, there is no really exact amount, and so this is just whatever looks good to you. So what you might want to do is also take that next fold and fold that down, and also fold that up, and see what angle looks good. And basically you just want to adjust these until you have a result that looks good to you. These look good to me. So I'm going to reinforce those creases. We're just going to flatten them down. And now I'm going to unfold them and then open up the model slightly. And just like I showed you on the small strip of paper, we want to reinforce these diagonal creases as mountain folds, even though this one's a valley fold. So we'll just pinch that as a mountain fold, then pinch that one as a mountain fold, and then make sure that this crease here is a valley crease, and that's how we originally made it, so it shouldn't be too difficult to remake. And then we're just going to refold using those existing creases. We're going to fold the paper in half, and then just push down and flatten. And there we go. And we have one more to do on the top here, so let's unfold again. And we're going to fold this crease, these diagonals as mountains again. And just pinch. And then we're going to make sure that the horizontal creases are valley creases. And then once we've done that, we can refold and then just push and flatten. And then we'll refold all the parts of the model that came undone here and just reinforce the creases. And the top half of our moon is done. Now we have to do that exact same thing for the bottom. So we're just going to fold this edge up on that existing crease and then fold it down at an angle. That looks good to me, so I'm just going to pinch that into place. Then we'll unfold and open out and turn over. And then just like before, we're going to pinch the diagonals as mountain folds. And then reinforce that valley crease there. And then we're going to fold back in half, squeeze the paper together, and fold on the existing creases. And then refold anything that came undone. And there's the basic shape for the moon. Now obviously there's a lot more shaping you can do. For example, I like to round out the edges here on the corners. And one more corner to go. And there we go. Our dollar bill crescent moon is done. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that last tutorial, please feel free to like, comment, and share, and subscribe so that you'll always know when the next tutorial is available. I am Sam, and I will see you next time. Oh, we still got a few seconds left. Say something funny. Say something funny. I'm blanking.